Yeah. Yeah, I think the service
These are like Bruce's concerns. These are people's concerns.
If you enjoy doing it,
Come in my party. Keep it here.
even though this is a public performance, I know this
Where everything falls.
I think it's foolish enough not to say, next year we're not going to be shut. That's what we did last year.
Autumn, that one. We did the start the winter 55 times after the light. Yeah, that.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Auburn Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, located on occupied ancestral land of the Muscogee Creek Nation, and in a building constructed by former African American slaves. My name is Isaac McNeely, and I am your service associate today. We welcome all of you to our service, especially those of you who are searching for spiritual hope. Many of us were once, too, seeking for something larger than ourselves to which we could belong, a sense of rootedness to hold us as we create meaning together. We do that well here, though not perfectly. In this congregation, we strive not for perfection, but for authenticity and connection. Whether it's your first time with us or your 100th time, we hope that you will find here questions that stretch you, people to befriend you, and liberal religious values that challenge you to join us in loving boldly, living justly, and welcoming radically. On behalf of the members of the fellowship, I extend a special welcome to all visitors who are joining us for the first time, and to those of you who still feel like visitors. If you have not already done so, please fill out our visitor book at the front near the greeters, or digitally by visiting auuf.org/visitor. You may also contact our minister, Reverend Rothbauer, at minister@auuf.org with any questions or concerns you may have. As we prepare for our service this morning, please remember to turn your phone and other electronic devices to silent. Let us move into the service willing to be authentic with each other, honest within ourselves, and open to connection in all its forms.
Our opening words this morning are from Barbara Cheatham. It is a good morning to be together. When winter's darkness spreads across the land and cold seeps through the thickest coats, we hurry here, drawn by the warmth of faces familiar and new, to the welcoming walls of this house. Here, for this hour, we open ourselves to new understanding, reassurance, and hope. For this is a place where truth, love, and challenge meet. Welcome. It is a good morning to be together.
We light our chalice this morning with these words from Sharon Wiley. This solstice day, in honor of ancient traditions that celebrate this time of longest night, we observe that the flaming chalice holds the elements of the four directions: earth, air, fire, water. The lamp oil for earth, the air that feeds the flame, the fire who lights. And the chalice itself, the cup, the symbol of water. We light our chalice and reflect on the light we need to guide us through hard times. The light of our shared faith, the light of loving community, the light of love, joy, and hope. As is our tradition, we also light a candle in solidarity with those families separated at our southern border. This morning marks the fourth Sunday in the season of Advent in the Christian tradition. Each week until Christmas, we have been lighting a new candle on the Advent wreath, symbols of hope, peace, joy, and love. As the season reaches its completion, we prepare for new life to dawn. Our hearts soften and our arms open to embrace its brightness. This morning, we light the fourth candle. We light this candle as a reminder that there is no greater power in the world than love. Through this community, we can become a blessing to one another. Our love is magnified and our lives are changed. We can hardly wait any longer for the wonder of love to be revealed. May we risk enough to become vulnerable and welcome holy tenderness.
Our opening hymn is number 55, Dark of Winter.
One of the ways that we proclaim the warmth and caring of our community is by sharing our joys, concerns, and milestones. If you are joining us virtually, we invite you to type your joy, concern, or milestone in the YouTube chat box. We invite those in person to, one at a time, drop a pebble into our communal bowl during the music for meditation. I invite you, if you have a joy, concern, or milestone, to come forward one at a time and briefly share it into the microphone.
It's live. Andrew called me from the beaches in Hawaii. He's having a wonderful time, thanks to all you lovely people, me included. And
I have a message from Tom Westmoreland to everyone here. Tom and Michelle Westmoreland wish a happy holiday season to all in the fellowship who they know and love and who have reached out with a visit or a phone call, text, email, or letter. They greatly appreciate everyone's kindness. Since November 1, Michelle has been on home hospice, and Tom is grateful for all of the help that hospice provides. Michelle has both Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. It is taking its toll on her, but Tom wants everyone to know that she's still Michelle and the one who is easy to love.
One of our joys has been our next door neighbors who are a young couple with children 4 and 8. And yesterday we put up our little snowman and lighted Christmas tree on our porch. And I got a text that said, Georgia and Max are thrilled. They know that you put those up just so they can see them from their bedrooms.
too many things. Sorry. I want to hear what I said. Wrong way. Thanks for your patience.
Those things are murder on hearing aids. You take it off the wrong way, the hearing aids go flying.
I know. I have yet to get the hang of it. I want to use this time to remember my son-in-law's father who passed away within the last few days. My daughter's coming down from Chicago to see us, but that's sort of put a crimp in her plans. They're planning a memorial service in Boston. He was a professor at Wellesley College in finance for many, many years, and took great pride in having the Board of Trustees of Wellesley call on him to advise what they should do with their money. He was a very witty man. He loved the Chicago Cubs, and fortunately, they finally won a series. He was a very, very intelligent, wise, and kind person. So we're sorry to see him go and pass. On another note, we're going to start meditation on the 15th of January. I prepared a few posters, and if you know somebody who would be interested in sitting with this group, please pick up one of these. I'll leave it over here by the bowl, and thank you much.
Time, Max, stay there with you because I need someone to keep me vertical. I just need someone to hold my hand because what's the word? You just stay here, okay. Okay, I'm Connie Ressler, as you know. Well, I had a birthday this week. Everybody gets a birthday, doesn't it? I turned 83. And us oldies, our book group, and I knew about Michelle, she was in our book group, and our book group meets at lunch now because nobody wants to drive after dark, like us oldies. And, well, I don't know if this was a celebration, but for the second time, I backed into my neighbor's mailbox. So I know. Well, it's next to mine. They're on the same side of the street, you know, so the last time I did it, I said to her, she said, well, it was on our list. And I said, well, where on the list? And she said, well, right now it's on the top. So I wrote her a note and I said, oh, if John can't make the mailbox right, I'll make it right. And I put a little dollar sign. So anyway, but I'm very careful now that, you know, I'm not going to do it a third time. Okay, so.
Thank you to all who shared their joys, concerns, and milestones this morning. May all the joys, concerns, and milestones of this community those shared aloud and those held in silence, be received into the care and concern of all present.
Please join me in the spirit of contemplation in whatever way feels right with these words from Mark Stringer. As the year winds to its close and we are submerged once again in the seasonal darkness we have come to know so well, we have reason to think back upon the year that was. If only because it will soon be gone. We think back to the friends we have made, the sorrow we have endured, the love we have found, the loneliness we have survived. We think back to the blessings of being forgiven and the gift we offered of ourselves when we forgave. We think back to those who listened to us in times of need, and those times we could have listened more. We think back to the things we traded for our time and to what we have overlooked in the process. We think back to the times when we were afraid and uncertain and we trudged ahead anyway, and the times when we were compassionate when we could have been cold. In this season of still growing night, may we see more clearly against the dark backdrop of our living, the true light of our lives, the love we gave to others, and the peace we nurture in ourselves. Blessed.
A religious community is like a river formed from many streams of our lives that meet and merge and flow to the sea. As members and friends of this religious community, we share our time and energy, our creativity, imagination, and vision, our talents, skills, and gifts, and the streams of our individual lives to create a river that is both deep and broad. A river that is made of many streams, that sustains life, and that refreshes the land through which it flows. But the river of this community also depends on our shared financial support that makes real our shared values and vision. We will now receive an offering for the support of this religious community and its work in the world. You are invited to give generously and joyfully as you are willing and able. To make a donation online via PayPal, please visit auuf.org/donate. Please indicate in the notes whether your donation is for your pledge or the offering. If you are writing a check, please make your check payable to AUUF with a note on the memo line about whether it is for the offering or your pledge, and drop it in the offering bowl or mail it to P.O. Box 669, Auburn, Alabama 36831. The offering will now be gratefully received. Waiting to be born again into the morning, onto the day. From dark, warm comfort with my bed full of sleep and blankets, back into bright spring-scented air with all its life and branches. Waiting to be born away into fresh vision, onto clean spirit, to a world of wordless resurrection, where life sits side by side with death, watching the rising and falling of our many human threats. The daily negotiations of the indefatigable sun, the pretty patterns of our slowly rotating stars, the childlike candor of the bright, unblinking planets, glancing at each other now and then with peaceful eyes.
If you ask virtually any minister in American culture, whether you or otherwise, they'll tell you that December is a pretty busy time of year for us. And I feel like that's especially true for UUs. It would be a lot easier if all of you were one faith and we just had to celebrate one holiday. But that's not going to happen anytime soon, and I don't want it to happen. It takes a lot of time to do, so I join a lot of my colleagues who say that this is often the busiest month of their programming year. Now, having been both a minister and a retail worker, I used to think it was only ministers and retail workers who were stressed out this time of year. But I've really been making it a practice to pay attention when I'm talking to people this year. And you know what I've heard? A lot of other people are stressed out too. Maybe even some people in this room. There is lots to do. Celebration and gift giving, a minister who keeps asking you if you'll do stuff to help out with the 6 services they planned this month. And it might seem like the holiday, the actual time to get away, is so far away that it might never get here. I think this time of year we all need time to be able to relax and rejuvenate. A time of renewal. And that's what I want to offer us this morning as we approach the winter solstice. Now, traditionally, the winter solstice was celebrated because it is, scientifically speaking, the longest night of the year. Think about that. We won't have a longer night any other of the 364 days throughout the year. Once the 21st hits, you can look forward that every day there's going to be a little more light coming into your life. And I think that for many, winter solstice tapped into the eternal cycle of life and death, and the battle between light and dark. It reminds us that there is hope in knowing that the sun will return, even in the midst of darkness. An anonymous writer wrote that the winter solstice is the time of ending and beginning, a time to contemplate your immortality, a time to forgive, to be forgiven, and to make a fresh start, a time to awaken. Indeed, I was honored yesterday to be a part of a solstice service for a Druid group out of Atlanta. And there were the traditional prayers to rebirth and reawaken the solar deities. But you know what else there was? There was a looking forward. We're getting ready to enter the most dark. As the light reapproaches, what do we want in our lives? How do we want 2022 to be better than 2021? I promised you at last year's solstice service I wouldn't predict that 2021 was going to be better than 2020. And I won't do it again this year. But it does strike me on this, the last Sunday service that I'll do for you in the year 2021, that we might take this as an opportunity to reflect and renew. What did we do well this year? What do we hope to do better next year? After all, in ancient times, humans took this time as an opportunity to stock up, to prepare for the long winter. Indeed, if you lived in the wrong part of the world, it could be a matter of life or death. Because sometimes, in some places, there is little hope of finding food during the winter. And that's the key. You still have to eat when it's dark out. But it's when it's light that you can take advantage and prepare for those times when the darkness overtakes you. In the natural world, many animals and plants rest during the winter. Paul Theroux, the nature writer, wrote that winter is a season of recovery and preparation, and it is. I'm sure we all know the stereotype about bears hibernating during the winter, and they're certainly not the only species that hibernates. Plants go dormant in the winter too. Even though that's hard to believe sometimes when I'm seeing dandelions pop up in my yard in December, still, there is a rest going on. And I think that reaches even humans, because there's something about this time of year that it's easy to stay in bed all day if you don't have anything to do. But the ancients used evergreen plants as a symbol of rebirth, because evergreen plants don't die. They're a symbol that we're just going through a phase in time. Holly and mistletoe were seen as signs of protection, and the ancients put them above their doors to remind themselves that they would make it through the winter. And of course, there's the practical thing that before electricity, it cost money to buy oil and candles to light things after dark. So it was harder to do chores after dark. So it gave humans a perfect opportunity to slow down as well. And that's what I want to propose this morning, is a modern meaning of the solstice. It's a reminder to slow down. A reminder that, like the ancients, there are going to be times of darkness in our lives and in our world. And that maybe we just need to slow down. Maybe we need to think a little bit about how our year's gone. Maybe the best thing we can do is have a nice sit down in front of a fire, cat or dog in our lap, our loved ones by our sides, and reflect on how the year's gone. And to reflect also on what's stirring within us. Winter forms our character, brings out our best, another anonymous writer said. But what is stirring within you this morning? What is waiting to be born? In a couple of weeks, you'll have an opportunity to think about that too at our fire communion service. But for now, it's an opportunity to start the process of rest, even as some of us are trying to finish our holiday chores. Even as your minister has a homily to write for Friday. We need reminders that even when the earth feels dark, even when it feels like nothing's going right, rebirth is always possible. This isn't easy rebirth. It's not cheap rebirth, but it's rebirth that calls us to face the challenges ahead so that we're ready for the springs and the summers of our lives. And it's a reminder that each of us, no matter who we are, needs to take a little bit of time for self-care, even when it feels like there's a million things on our agenda. As Tess Baumgartner put it in our reading this morning, we are each waiting to be born. We are constantly being born, the Buddhists believe, because we are constantly changing. And it means discovering what is waiting for us, both within us and without us. And it means opening up to a universe of possibilities. So I want to make a modest proposal this morning. I've been watching some of the conservative War on Christmas memes this year, and usually they just make me groan. But this year, there's a new strain that I've been noticing that has a little bit of truth to it. Strange enough, it's an anti-consumerist strain, one that says we've forgotten the meaning of Christmas. I think there's a little truth. I'm not saying don't give presents, don't do everything you love. But what if we took the holidays as an opportunity to really reinvigorate our lives, to really reconnect with the people we love, and to really find meaning in each of our lives? This is my wish for you, church, this holiday season. I will see some of you Friday and some of you I won't see. But for each of you, may you have the courage to endure the dark parts of your lives so that there may be blessings in the light. May it be so. So today's service is about metaphoric cleansing and quenching of thirst at the time of solstice, setting of intention, self-anointing, healing, new beginnings and possibilities. As worshipers have done for millennia, we will be traveling the directions today. At each stop around the circle of flame, water, oil, and light, I invite each of you to become your own healers, your own priest or priestess, your own minister, your own teacher. It is your circle of release, cleansing, intention, and hope. We will have a reading for each direction, after which I will ask you to consider what the symbolism of that direction means to you. The South symbolizes release. Release from things that have held us back in the past. Each of us has things each year that we want to release. Pain from the last year, circumstances that haven't gone our way, disappointments we hope not to repeat. This morning, we symbolize our relief by lighting. We would normally light a Yule log, but they tell me that's dangerous to do in an old 19th century Protestant building. So instead, we're going to light a substitute set of lights for our Yule log, symbolizing fire. Our fire reading is by Lois E. Van Leer. Roar through my soul, flame and fire, searing heat. Burn all my fears to ash. Now send your sparks up on the hearth of the wind, up to the moon, sun, and stars, staking paths, roads for my spirit to follow. Sweet release, sweet, sweet release. If you're joining us online, I'd like to invite you to think about what you want to release, and if you feel comfortable, type it into the chat box. And for those of you here in person, if you would like to call out a word or two about what you want to release, if you feel comfortable.
Anger.
Distractions.
Tension.
Stuff.
Worry. Deadlines.
Whether you called it out or kept it silent, consider it being released. And picture it floating through this room and out that door.
The West symbolizes purity. Most religious traditions have understood the element of water as the great purifier, that which washes clean and makes new. It is the teacher of the mysteries of life, death, and rebirth. Springs, streams, rivers, creeks, lakes, pools, ponds, oceans are compassionate healers, relieving actual and metaphoric thirst. Water in our lives is the power of purification, the healing balm of compassion, and the mystical presence of creativity. Be a full bucket pulled up the dark way of a well, then lifted out into the light. Stars burn clear all night. Do that yourself, and a spring will rise in the dark with water your deepest thirst is for. As we approach the bowl of water, pouring it over our hands, we invite you to purify yourself in the coming year. What would you like to be cleansed of? If you feel comfortable sharing, call out what you are cleansing yourself of. Or if you're joining us online, type it in the YouTube chat box.
Negativity.
Worry.
Violence. Neuropathy.
Self-doubt. Fatigue.
The North symbolizes intention. What would our lives be like if we lived them with more awareness of intention? An intention we can return to in any moment of time, at any time. The new year awaits. What intention will you bring to it? We'll be talking more about intention in a couple of weeks at the fire communion ceremony, but for now, just think about what you want to be in the new year. Our intention reading is from an unknown author. One tree can start a forest. One bird can herald spring. Our smile can begin a friendship. Our hand can lift a soul. One star can guide a ship at sea. One word can frame the goal. One vote can change a nation. One sunbeam light a room. One candle can light out darkness. One laugh can conquer gloom. One hope can raise our spirits. One touch can show you care. One voice can wake up everybody. one life can make a difference. As we anoint ourselves with oil, I invite you to set your life's intention for the coming year. What do you want to do in the coming year? If you feel comfortable sharing, call out a word or two about your intention for the coming year, or type it in the YouTube chat box if you're sharing online.
Appreciate.
Remember, integrity, more focus, hopefulness,
Yes.
Neighborliness. Loving kindness.
Kindness.
Across millennia, human beings have lit lamps or torches or candles in religious rituals. Are they prayers? Are they remembrances? Are they unspoken hopes and desires? Whatever their meaning, the lighting of candles captivates us still. Our reading is from Barbara Kingsolver. The very least you can do in your life is to figure out what you hope for. And the most you can do is live inside that hope. Not admire it from a distance, but live right in it, under its roof. What are your hopes for the coming year? What do you hope 2022 will bring? If you feel comfortable sharing, call out what you are cleansing yourself, call out what you are hoping for, or type it in the YouTube chat box.
joy, and playfulness.
Peace.
A place to sing jazz.
Friendship.
Less distancing.
Creativity.
So because of time, I thought about having all of you make a line and do all these stations with us, but I decided not to do that today for time. But I'm going to leave our candles lit until you all leave for coffee hour this morning. But if you would like to walk the directions yourself for north, east, south, and west, I invite you to do that as you're exiting today for coffee hour or to go home. I will close out our ritual today with a reading from Jan Richardson. Go slow, friendly, dark, or fearsome. This is no place to break your neck by rushing. I do not know what these shadows ask of you, what they might hold, but this is what I can ask for you, that in the night you be encompassed by the love that knows your name. May you receive blessings this holiday season, and may this solstice be a blessing to you. Amen and blessed be. Our closing hymn is number 57 in the gray hymnal, Our All March of Days.
days I'll get organized and you won't know what to do.
Please join me in extinguishing our chalice. You will find the words in your order of service. We
Extinguish this flame that does not light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Please be our guest today after the service for a coffee hour outside near the Bush Center. This is an opportunity to check in with folks about the service and ask how their week has gone. If you are not signed up for our email list, please make sure to do so to receive updates about ways to connect. You can find information on how to sign up at our website, auuf.org/subscribe. At this time, I invite any spoken announcements. If you have a spoken announcement, please come forward one at a time and briefly speak it into the microphone.
I have already hyped it up several times today, but I hope you can all be here on Friday night at 6 o'clock for our Christmas Eve service. Quite a few of our talented musicians have been practicing hard for it, so I look forward to welcoming you all here, and I hope you can make it.
This arrived at my house. It doesn't belong there. It's very beautiful. Someone is looking for it. So please claim it if you own it, or give me a clue as to who I should contact. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Robert, and teams are going to be packing up the holiday helping boxes right after we leave here. I'd like to thank everybody for your contributions. I'm most generous. If you still have something else to give, drop it by the RE building. If you'd like to make a monetary contribution, because we'll be filling in some of the holes that don't get quite filled up, we'll accept them as well. And also remember the food bank, even when it's not the holiday season. They always need assistance. Thanks.
Hi, this is Chris. On behalf of the Sunday Services Committee, another friendly reminder that next Sunday is our gift service. It's going to be very informal, but we're hoping that you can come and share your gifts with us, interpreted broadly. So maybe you have a favorite poem you'd like to read. Maybe you want to reminisce about that toy that you got in 1982 for Christmas that you lost and wish you still had. Whatever the case may be, come share your gifts with us, and we'll learn what everybody has been able to give or receive this holiday season.
Hello everyone, my name is Noriko, and we are, I'm speaking on behalf of Dinah's Pantry team. And today, as you can see on announcement, today is our last day to collect Dinah's Pantry holiday drive. So if you have not contributed any monetary donation, please let us know, me and Amy. We are the Dinah's Pantry team. Thank you.
Oh, gee, I broke it.
Connie just
It's not even a mailbox. Well, okay, can I hold it like this? Okay, this is probably not the place to inform you on this, but I think we're, is this okay?
fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
This is, oh, okay. I think we've all had the tornado in Kentucky and a few of the states, surrounding states. But tonight on 60 Minutes, they're going to talk about the tornadoes and what causes them at all. 60 Minutes is supposed to come on at 6, but football games always trumps it. And last week it came on at exactly 7, and sometimes it's as late as 8. So anyway, but I will watch it regardless of how late it comes on, because I'm very interested about these tornadoes. So, in fact, I don't know if you remember, we had a person, I don't know her name right now, who was killed in a local tornado. So, thank you.
Hi, I'm Temeskin, Tem, and I have an announcement to read from AUF COM, Committee on Ministry. Your Committee on Ministry, COM, wants to know, what do we do? Whom do we serve? What services do we provide to those inside and outside our fellowship? Our mission guides how we prioritize decisions and allocate our human and financial resources. Our mission statement is owned by all of us, reflects what we value and want to be known for, and why we are relevant in the community. Why do you keep coming to AUUF? What makes this community unique? Why do you give AUUF your time and money? Why do you care about AUUF? Think about it, and let us talk about it. There will be a town hall meeting on February 6, 2022, and a few more announcements would come until that date. So this is just to give you a heads up. The COM is Marsha, Rossi, Temeskin, Samuel, Ralph Banks, and Aisha Aga.
So Richard Speak cut down a tree, and some elves put it into, out on the playground for the children to decorate. However, we need another string and a stake. If anyone has one handy, that would be really great, because it's kind of leaning over and we just need to anchor it. It already has 2 anchors, it just needs a third, because a tripod works really well. Anyway, so if you do, just see me, because it's already out there. And the elves, had set it up and everything, so thanks to those elves.
Hi, I'm Carter. I was just going to let y'all know that the Auburn Area Community Theater is doing its 2nd annual holiday walk in the woods. It's at the Crater Preserve. It was Friday night and supposed to be yesterday, but due to the rain, they will have 2 slots today. There's an afternoon slot from 2 to 4, and I think one from 5 to 7. They will have walk-up tickets available. I think they're $7 a person, but basically you come with a small group. The groups are staggered, and there are about 6 stations at which you will have performers doing holiday traditions that represent different aspects of communities within our community at large. And I think that's it.
Thank you for those announcements. Please join us now for our song benediction.
Stop! Today is Sunday, right? Let's try it.
Into the world in peace, be of good courage, hold fast that which is good, go forth into the world in peace, oh, people rejoicing in the
Just a couple of thank yous. Amy Kaiser just happened to be wandering around cleaning up after Blue Christmas on Thursday and had a bunch of evergreens available, so the solstice service looks so much better because of it. And she also provided a couple wills. So thank you, Amy, and thank you to Isaac for helping with the service today. Our benediction is by Gregory Jones. On this, the longest night of the year, we are warmed by the certain knowledge that tomorrow will welcome more light than today. As it has for eons, for billions of years, the coming of light brings life. May we be awed by the great miracles of light and life, and faithfully nurture the mystery and magic of wonder. Amen. Blessed be, and go in peace.